Welcome back to the channel, guys. Behind me is a 2023 brand new ZL1 Camaro. Came in for simple bolt-ons, simple cold air headers, and a catback exhaust. So stay with me through this video, guys. Not only do I show you this car, but then I go into detail a few LT4 owners out there looking for more horsepower, how to achieve up to 900 and 1000 horsepower safely and reliably. Those of you watching, we do basic bolt-ons. This is a brand new 2023 ZL1. Literally just cold air, headers, coarse exhaust. No more boost or anything. Baseline, 534, 525. I've made 3 pulls now. We're at 597, 599. So we'll call it 600 rear wheel horsepower, and that's still on 93 octane. I believe this customer's from Louisiana. So yeah, those of you looking for just basic stuff, we do basic bolt-ons as well. Alright guys, today we are in brand new 2023 ZL1 Camaro. Caleb brought it to us all the way from Louisiana, and I don't want to bore you too much with talking. I think I do talk a lot in some of these videos when I'm driving, and some of you do like to hear some of it. Most of you like to see the action, so I get it, but I do want to kind of talk a little bit about this particular build and then future builds as well, for those of you out there that do have the LT4 platform. So Caleb came to us, again, a brand new 2023 ZL1, just looking for a little bit more horsepower, but obviously wanted it to sound louder than stock. So we opted with going the big gulp, the Rotofab cold air. We did stainless works headers, all the connection pipes, and then we did the Corsa catback exhaust system. So we didn't turn the boost up at all. Stock pulleys on the upper and the lower, so we're still stock boost levels, but this thing went from 520, 530 rear wheel horsepower on 93 octane to now a solid 600 rear wheel horsepower. Also, what's cool about the Corsa system, which is expensive for these cars, just like the factory, they have dual mode. This thing is very loud when we get on it. You'll hear it here in a second, but I want to be able to show you all that. I put it in track mode. You can hear how loud it is. And then if I go to touring and the baffles close, you can't even hear the muffler. It sounds like we are in a bone stock car, very similar to the stock mufflers. Again, it's a different tone when they're open versus what a stock muffler sounds like open. So hopefully this video, I have an auto recorder in the back of this thing, so when we get on it here in a little bit, hopefully y'all can get an idea of what this thing sounds like. But I want to start off with, we don't just do our packages, which is our most common stuff. We do 800, 850s, 900s, and I know we show a lot of 1000 horsepower plus builds on our channel and on our social media platforms, but those of you out there with LT4 platforms just want a little bit more power without having to spend $15,000, $20,000 on one of our packages, know that we do offer simple bolt-ons like this car. Caleb, again, in his case, wanted more horsepower and a lot louder sound. We definitely gave him that. You got 60 rear wheel horsepower gains. Still, it's super safe. and now he has the sound that he wanted for when he gets on it, when he wants to play. Then he also has the best of both worlds. If he's driving back from Houston to Louisiana, he can put it in touring mode like I am right now, and the car is super quiet. But things I want to discuss on this in this video are, if you have an LT4 platform and you start off with something like this, kind of like, what's the next steps? What would you want to do next for more horsepower? And I'll kind of give you my breakdown of my opinion of what to do next. If it was me, and this was, again, if money is an issue where you just don't have unlimited funds like most people do not, right? So just the best bang for your buck, what I would do next to this vehicle would be just add a flex fuel sensor to it, a P3 gauge so you can see your ethanol content, and this car will go from probably 600 rear wheel horsepower to 640, 650 rear wheel horsepower, and again, still idle and drive like a stock car. So all the bolt-ons with flex fuel in these cars are really a great package. So those of you out there interested, again, contact our sales staff and we can go over pricing with you. Granted, guys, the parts of these cars are expensive. The headers are very expensive. The Corsa exhaust system is very expensive. But depending on which route you go, like I said, there's 10 ways to skin a cat. That's why everyone has their different packages and what to do, what not to do, and why does theirs cost less than ours and so forth. It depends on what brand parts you're installing on these vehicles. So first step, this one, we got more air going into the engine with the cold air, and we have obviously our exhaust a lot more efficient. So the engine is now more efficient when we tuned it, making 600 rear wheel horsepower. Add the flex fuel sensor to it. I think, again, a solid 50 rear wheel horsepower gain there. Then it becomes up to the customer and what his needs and goals are. If it was me, after that step, I'd put a camshaft in it just because I do like the way these cars sound with camshafts in them, as well as the horsepower we get out of it. Also, once we start hitting a certain horsepower number, whether it's 93 or especially on E85, fuel system becomes a problem. We put the camshaft in it, we run our fuel lobe on it, so our mechanical high pressure side stays happy up to a certain horsepower level. After that, that's when, again, we either can go with a ported supercharger, so keep the 1.7 and do a full export with the larger throttle body on it. But then again, at that point, the car, depending on how much boost it makes, which we will make, you know, between 15, 17 pounds, we will run out of fuel on straight E85. So then you have to start doing fuel mods, and two different ways to go about it. We either keep it all direct injection, like the way the car came from the factory. So we would add a low side fuel system to it, which is an external fuel pump that feeds the mechanical pump. So we have 60 PSI always feeding the mechanical pump. Then we would upgrade the mechanical pump to a larger mechanical pump that flows roughly 30% more, and then also larger DI injectors that, again, roughly flow 30% more. And that would get you, the last few cars we've done, anywhere between in a ZL1, anywhere between 850 rear wheel horsepower and 900 rear wheel horsepower with the factory ported blower, complete direct injection with no methanol or any other additives. You can run pump gas or 85, and that'll be the difference of probably 100, 150 horsepower, depending on how we have it set up. So it'll still make 750 on, let's say, 93 octane. You put the E85 in it, bam, you're at 850, maybe even 900 rear wheel horsepower. Next up above that is, again, that's when the money starts becoming the factor of which direction to choose. We do go from the 1.7 liter supercharger. We can substitute that out with the Magnuson, the 2650. It makes it more efficient, and we can go back to the package that I was just speaking about. Get rid of the ported blower and just add a Maggie to it, and still do the exact same things and the exact same horsepower we talked about. It'll just do it more efficiently. So again, 750 rear wheel horsepower, let's call it, on 93 octane, and then 900 rear wheel horsepower on E85. And some people will think, well, wait, a 2650 should make more than the 1.7 ported. Yes, it can, but when we keep it all direct injection, the limiting factor is our fuel system and the direct injection. So 900 rear wheel horsepower is what I call our our peak, let's say, for a horsepower number, that is all direct injection with no method or no port injection or anything like that on it. So Magnuson supercharger over the 1.7, we can run a little bit less boost to get those same horsepower gains, and it's just more efficient. When you're out driving the car and racing the car a lot and hard, the Magnuson, again, just the IATs, it doesn't heat soak near as bad. Then if you want over the 900 rear wheel horsepower number, that's when we have to add port injection on it. So what we do is, if you started from scratch, we would not add the larger big pump and the bigger injectors. We can still keep your factory LT4 pump and LT4 injectors, but we would add a second set of injectors called port injectors. So the car will idle and drive on the direct injection, and once we go into boost, we have an aftermarket computer that will turn on a second set of injectors. And again, price-wise, I tell customers it's usually substitute the big pump and big injectors for the port injection. The port injection is a little bit more expensive than the big pump and big injectors. And also, when you start adding 1,000 plus rear wheel horsepower on straight E85, that little the external fuel pump I originally talked about, we decide we get rid of that and we do 3 pumps in the tank to ensure, again, 60 psi always going to the mechanical fuel pump, and in this case also the port injection. So we have another ZL1 at the shop. This one's a 23. We have Mr. Hogan's 2020, I believe we finished a few weeks back. It made, I want to say, with a Magnuson on it, with port injection, stock short block, which the stock short block is the limiting factor on his vehicle. I think it was, like, let's just call it 800 rear wheel horsepower on pump gas, and I think I stopped at 970 rear wheel horsepower on E85 with port injection. Now, I've pushed those well over 1,000. We've made 1050 with that setup before. The stock short block, though, in my opinion, I will make the dyno number for the customer if they really want to, but for the customer that's going to go out and race it a lot and does want it to be reliable, not worry about breaking the engine, I like to turn it down between 950 and 975 with the stock short block. Now, if the customer says, Steven, turn it to 1,000, turn it to 1,050, like a couple of recent C7Z customers have, we will leave it at that setting. Just they have to know in the near future a short block will be needed. So with all that said, sorry I kind of rambled on about kind of the different stages on what to go, because there are so many different ways to build these cars to get the horsepower you want. Everybody wants 1,000 horsepower. It's just once you get to a certain level, it's hard. I call it, you jump off the ledge, because you have to spend the money on the fuel system, and that's what costs so much money on these cars versus the old LS stuff that was just port injection only. It was a lot cheaper to just buy one electric fuel pump and a bigger set of injectors for your LS car and have it to support 2,000 horsepower even, and be way cheaper than what we have to do to get these things to support even 1,000 rear wheel horsepower on straight E85. But I want to show you all now the sound of this exhaust. I forgot I was down data logging. So 600 rear wheel horsepower, second gear, stock tires, traction control on. Give me 1 second to make sure I got some room here. Traction control kicking in like crazy in second gear. Oh, it sounds so good on the downshifts in track mode. So loud, but then you pull into your neighborhood and you want to be nice and quiet, hit a button. Now no one can even hear us. It sounds like stock. But just wanted to give you all an idea of what this thing sounds like with the headers and the Corsa on it. Again, You can keep the factory muffler on it and have the dual mode where it'll be quiet and loud. But this Corsa, those of you out there that want it loud, this is loud. It sounds really good. I'm gonna pull over, save that log, and again, sorry for all the babbling in this video, guys. I just wanted to, those of you out there that own LT4 platforms, give you an idea of the process and the different steps and what parts to essentially purchase for you. Even if you're doing it at home in your garage and you don't even choose us to build your vehicle, I just want to give you the knowledge so you know going into it. And if y'all have any questions, as always, contact our sales staff and I'll be glad to assist you in your build. Even if you do not go with us, we can sell you the parts if need be. But always feel free to contact us, guys. Don't hesitate. Even if you just want a cold air and a tune on your car, yes, we still do that. Like I said, people think all the time we only build these 1000 horsepower cars. Well, Caleb is the perfect example. Yes, he did drive from Louisiana to us, but it is for cold air, headers, and just simple bolt-ons. And you know, those of you that are out of state, depending on how far, you can drive into town, get a hotel for a night or two, depending on what we're doing to it, and drive your car back. And then obviously those of you that want more, like one of our packages that will need the car for a full week, then, you know, obviously transport's your best bet. Give us the car, we transport it in, depending on the package, it's a 1 week, 2 week turnaround time, and we get it back to you. So hope you enjoyed this, guys. Until the next one, take care.